Hi there, thanks for taking the Decision Intelligence Maturity Assessment. I want to talk a little bit today about why decision velocity determines business success. Every organization today talks about making better decisions, but very few talk about making them faster. Decision velocity is one of the biggest drivers of performance. When leaders can see clearly and act quickly, everything improves. That's exactly what this assessment helps you understand. Where you're strong, and where clarity is slowing you down. Business indeed moves fast. The pace of business is accelerating every day. Markets shift, costs move, customer expectations change. Leaders are forced to make hundreds of decisions a day. And if they don't have immediate visibility, they're making those decisions with partial information or outdated data. I don't know which is worse. What's the real challenge? The real issue isn't a lack of data. It's actually the opposite. Too much data and not enough clarity. Different reports, different numbers, different interpretations. When you don't have a single trusted view, decision making slows down and risk goes up. What's the impact of slow decisions? Well, when clarity is missing, problems show up as surprises. Missed targets, unexpected costs, performance gaps. Teams fall into firefighting mode. And leaders end up relying more on gut instinct than on insight, simply because the insight isn't there when they need it. Those delays have real financial cost. You lose margin through avoidable inefficiencies. Opportunities get missed because the response wasn't fast enough. And the organization develops a kind of operational drag that everyone feels, but few can diagnose. In every organization I work with, the CEO doesn't like data. They like clarity. The data lives in systems, spreadsheets, and reports that don't line up. Without alignment, leaders can't move with confidence. Decision intelligence brings everything together: clarity, alignment, and visibility. So decisions can be made faster and with more confidence. It's not just analytics or dashboards. It's a systematic way of improving how leaders understand the business. Everything starts with the data foundation. You need one version of the truth. Clean, accurate, timely data that leadership can trust. When that foundation is weak, everything slows down. Meetings, decisions, execution. And dashboards need to be built for decisions, not just reporting. Leaders don't need every data point. They need the few that matter most. There's a saying, the trivial many, the critical few. Dashboards should serve as priorities, highlight anomalies, and act as early warning systems. That's what accelerates action. Decision velocity collapses when leaders aren't aligned. If every team has its own KPIs, its own reports, and its own definitions, you spend more time debating numbers than acting on them. Alignment creates momentum. I want to give you a little aside of my own. Years ago, I was a maintenance officer in the United States Air Force, and we, in this case, fixing F-16s. I had about 300 people working for me, and overall the base had about 4,000 people. Every single day we had what we called, affectionately, the daily bloodletting, where we had to report status to what's called the deputy commander for maintenance. And in that status meeting, we showed the exact same slides every single day with the exact same KPIs that were actually defined by higher chain of command. It was some days we would show other KPIs, but we had a few core sets related to mission capable rates, essentially. And as the officer in charge, you needed to know what was going on to drive that number and what actions you could and were taking to keep that number above the baseline. Anything, as long as that number was above the baseline, the meeting was not a bloodletting. But if it wasn't, or you didn't have it under control, you could expect to talk to the boss. We were officers, it was very polite. So, dashboards are decision systems. When they're done well, they become your decision system. It cuts through noise. It eliminates debate. It tells you what needs attention, why it matters, and what direction the business is moving. That clarity is what unlocks speed. In one of my other videos, I talk about a dashboard revealing an issue with an MRP. What it also needs to reveal is the fact that the people building your dashboard, guys like us, need to have enough systems knowledge about your underlying ERP system to kind of know where to look to start diagnosing problems. So what does your score mean? Your score in this assessment is a snapshot of how your organization is currently making decisions. It shows where clarity is strong, where bottlenecks exist, and what's holding back performance. Think of it as your map. Even small improvements in clarity compound quickly. Better data leads to faster decisions. Faster decisions lead to better outcomes. And as leaders gain confidence in the system, execution improves across the entire organization. I encourage you to review your results carefully. If you'd like help strengthening your dashboards, your data foundation, or your overall decision system, I'm happy to discuss it with you and how me and my organization can help you have a dashboard that actually delivers clarity and insight. You'll find a link below where you can book a decision intelligence review with me. Thank you.